Why, Nick? Why hasn't Seattle come out and affirmed their commitment to Russ?
I don't know. And that is now the story. The story is not that a third of the league wants Russell Wilson. Listen, let me call up Jay Glazer real quick. Jay, how many teams would trade for Russell Wilson? Oh, 27? 28? Okay, thanks. Appreciate it. Jay Glazer just told me. 28 teams. There's 28 teams that would trade for Russell Wilson right now. So it's just a third is called, a third will call, and, another sixth are considering it. Brandon, why hasn't Seattle come out and said something? To me, that's the story. Why would either come out and say that we're going to give Russell everything he wants, or if you don't want to do that, at least come out and say, we're not trading him. Listen, we know Russ has some issues with some things within the organization. We're going to talk to him. We're confident we're going to get it fixed. But just so everyone can save their long distance minutes, which used to be a thing, we're not trading. The silence to me,
that's
Brandon, is now the story more than the fact that, hey, spoiler alert, the Broncos might want him. Yeah, of course the Broncos want him. But why hasn't Seattle come out and said they're not trading him?
Why? Yeah. Well, why? It's because they don't believe in the style of football that Russell Wilson wants to play. Look, I'm a smart guy, and I consider myself kind of savvy. I sit back and watch. One of my last cup of teas I had in the National Football League was right there, catching a touchdown pass from Russell Wilson in Denver. And so I sat back and watched, and they believe in Russ, obviously, because they paid him. They love Russ. Russ is the glue to everything that they're trying to do. I mean, Pete and Russ have a phenomenal relationship, but they want Russell Wilson to play the type of ball that they want to play. And what type of ball is that? That's run the ball, that's take big play action shots. There's no mid-range game. He's not getting the ball out quick, which is one of his arguments right now. It's like, I'm tired of getting hit. Since I've been in the NFL, I've been the most brutalized quarterback in the National Football League. And they want him to play hero ball. What is hero ball? Well, look, most games are decided by 3 to 6 points in the National Football League. So they think if they play good defense and they can play that style of offense, Russell Wilson will pull it out in the end. That's what they think will happen. Russell Wilson, 2-minute drill, go win the game with a minute left on the clock. And I don't think Russ wants to play that way anymore. You got to think about who Russ is. Russ is a legacy guy. Russ is a guy that wants to accomplish things at an extremely high level. He's sitting back watching Tom Brady stack up the championships and put more rings on his finger. He's watching Patrick Mahomes. He's paying attention to First Things First and all these other talk shows talking about who's the greatest quarterback of all time and who's the greatest quarterback now and what are these guys doing now, MVP discussion. So I think Russell Wilson is ready to move on and ascend to another level, and Pete Carroll is standing in the way, Nick. That's why.
Okay, I understand all of that. I still would think if you're the Seahawks, you would say, maybe we have a bigger issue than we first thought, but there is no way we are going to solve it by moving on from the greatest player in the history of our franchise, who is coming off of, I wouldn't say his greatest season ever, but his greatest half season he's ever had. And then the wheels came off a bit, and then he got it going again at the end of the year. Like, Matt LaFleur was put in a similar situation more directly by Aaron Rodgers. And by the way, the GM, Brian Gutekunst, was asked about Aaron Rodgers around that same time about would he possibly be traded, and his quote was, "Of course not." Brandon, the fact that we haven't heard that yet does lead me to believe that when they are getting these phone calls from a third of the league, there is at least one ear that is a little intrigued by it. That there are whispers within the organization of, well, if they'll give us 3 firsts, if it's 3 firsts, 3 seconds, and a player, is that worth it? I would argue there is no price high enough to get fair value on Russell Wilson, but until I hear something like that from either Pete or Schneider, I'm going to think they are at least somewhat actively listening.
Listen, there's no secret. Everyone knows I love Russell Wilson. But you got to think about this. if you can get 2 first-rounders, potentially 3, you take that. I love Russ, but what does he have? You know, he may get mad because he's a guy that came out as well and said he wants to play until he's 40 and 40 plus. Yeah, but Jenna, what do you got? 5 more years out of Russ? So if you're going to stand firm in your belief that how we win games is play really good defense, and we're going to run the ball on first, we're going to run the ball on second, then we're going to take big shots on play action or run the ball again, then what do you need Russell Wilson for? He's the best player on your team. When you think about Patrick Mahomes, when you think about Aaron Rodgers, these guys are building offenses around what they do best. That's not what they're doing in Seattle. Even Baker Mayfield in Cleveland, they went out and built an offense for him, and that's not happening. Even in Baltimore, although I disagree with their approach, what they're doing in the passing game, but they're doing a great job of making sure, hey, Lamar. Let's put him in the best position, you know, to succeed and push our team forward. So that's not happening in Seattle. So I think they take a real strong look at those first rounders. They get two ones. I think you take it and you move on and you just continue to play your type of ball, play good defense and run the ball.
Wow.
Any quarterback can do that.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.